Okay, we are live. Hello. Welcome to the inaugural programming session. So I am working on a project called Copper. And Copper is a scheme interpreter written in Rust. It's my first interpreter I've ever written. And it's it's by far the largest Rust project I've ever done. So I'm kind of learning a lot on the fly. So yeah, let's get to it. Today we're implementing Bytevectors. And if you are not familiar with a byte vector in Rust, maybe we can pull out a Scala draw here. It's effectively an array, or an array of bytes. So each block here is just 8 bits. So yeah, some things about Bytevectors is it's not a dynamically sized collection like a vector or a list or a pair or anything like that. So yeah, it's kind of been proving trickier than I thought, just because it's its fixed size. And you don't get quite as many like convenient traits that are implemented for like normal. Well, I guess it's a slice really is what we're working with in Rust. It's not as convenient to work with as like a vector or even a linked list, like a pair. But yeah, that's basically what we're doing. And we already have quite a bit implemented from the R7RS spec. And that's what we're going off of. We're trying to make this R7RS compliant. Ideally by, well, not ideally, the goal is to have it R7RS compliant by version 1. And we're at version 0.3 right now, so still quite a bit to do. Yeah, so we have we've already implemented quite a bit. So yeah, so we already have our byte vector procedure. We have make byte vector length, byte vector U8 ref. And I mean, it's a horrible, like with most things, it's just a horrible name. The scheme spec has named their standard library functions the weirdest things. All that function means, that long name, is just it returns the byte at the index you pass it to the function. Like they could have just done byte vector get. Kind of funny. Okay. Yeah, I think, sorry, I just have to change something on the stream here. Hope everyone's doing good. Sharing the link to the stream with some people. I'm curious how many people will join. Yes, we've done. Make Bytevector, Bytevector U8 ref, Bytevector set. I think that's it. So we have this. The procedure for this is kind of at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, the procedure for Bytevector is at the bottom, but we have it. It's implemented. What is next? I think copy. Bytevector copy. Always strike through. Can you strike through in Excalidraw? Is that a thing? I don't know, huh? Interesting. Copy. I'm still not sure. So I ran into this with vector, where there's vector copy and then like vector copy exclamation mark, which is usually used for macros or special forms. So if the function does something that is kind of special, or that a normal function can't do, you usually mark that with the exclamation point. An example of that is the set macro, which actually has to be handled by the parser a bit differently than just a normal function. But yeah, So I haven't implemented like this special version of macro copy because I don't understand why. I don't understand what differentiates this from the normal version. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Copies the elements vector from between start and end. Doi. That makes sense. That sounds horrendous to try and implement. Oh my goodness. So 2 at copies the elements of vector from between start and end to vector 2 starting at. So it's almost like a zip or a splice between the two. But this is vectors. That's old news. We've kind of moved on from vectors. We're doing bytevectors. Stay on track here. Yeah, it looks like it's the same though. We have the normal copy, and then we have the special version with 2 and at. I kind of hate that. I might skip that for now. Yeah, we can do this, and then we'll move on to append. Then that's basically it. Wait, there's no conversion? Oh, interesting. There are conversions for bytevectors. It calls it UTF-8. These procedures translate between strings and bytevectors that encode those strings using UTF-8. It decodes the bytes of a bytevector between start and end and returns the corresponding string. I get why it's called UTF-8, but I kind of wish it was bytevector to string. Yeah, I don't know, going through the spec, there's been so many odd naming choices. Very, very odd. I guess it's like a relatively old language, right? Okay, let's get to it here. Actually, we can kind of just reuse this. Okay, yeah, so we have 3 cases, just like the last one. Yeah, so from our arguments, we just get a byte vector, we return a copy of the whole thing. If we get the byte vector and the start, we return all elements from like that starting index on, and obviously it errors if the index is out of range. And then same thing with the end index. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Oh gosh. Okay. Kind of need to implement a sub byte vector. At least that's how I did it with the vector. I made a helper function to kind of get a copy of the elements from a certain index. Yes, yes, we got Stinky here. Yeah, so Stinky, how would you recommend we do this? Your PhD knowledge of Rust. I don't know how long ago you sent that. I don't know if you're even still in this room. Copy of byte vector from start and end indexes. This byte vector instead of the vector, obviously. Oh yeah, swap out the vortex for a woggle. Allow for oh yeah, the woggle effect for the branch to flow free. That's actually what I was going to try. So yeah, yep, good call, good call. I like that. Does it actually just work? Is it that easy? It's too easy, ladies and gentlemen. This is also so ugly the way I've written this. Yeah, I apologize for putting this, showing this in public. This is not great. And it's not great because, so I have a number type and it handles a lot of different numbers. And if you're not familiar with Scheme, you kind of need to implicitly convert between numbers in the interpreter. And so it has been, like, this type is horrifying. It's almost 1,000 lines in the in the file for this one type. So yeah, I have to do a lot of checks when I'm converting between like a normal U size or a normal like I64 integer or whatever into this special number type. And I have to do that first before comparing numbers too, because it would have been impossible to just compare, like to implement the trait that would allow me to compare like a normal integer with a number. So the way I kind of do it is I just have to cast everything into a number first and then compare it. Like for example, we get a number from the arguments, right? And this represents like the starting index of the place in the byte vector you want to copy from. And so right now that's just a number. We need a U size. So I first have to like cast it into a U size, make sure that didn't error out, because you could have like there are some numbers, number variants that don't cast to a U size nicely. So yeah, not great. Wait, who wrote this? I also just found a bug in here. What is going on? Equals equals? What are we talking about? What are we doing? It only checks if it's like as long as the length and not if it's outside the length. Hello? What is the goal of today's session? So what you're looking at, so I'm writing, actually let me demo it. Now I'm sharing my screen. So I've written a scheme interpreter, right? And scheme is a programming language, and I'm writing it in Rust, which is a different programming language. So if we run this thing, we can type in lines of scheme code and it'll evaluate and print the result. So like +1 and 1, it'll do that. That equates to 2. That's the project. What we're doing today is we're adding a new type called a byte vector. And a byte vector is just a collection of different things, of bytes. And after you make one, you can't resize it or anything. It's just fixed. So yeah, that's basically what we're doing. I've already done quite a few things. I've done all these functions for it, but I still have to do byte vector copy, byte vector append, there's also this really cursed different version of byte vector copy that I would have to implement. We're not going to talk about that though, because it's really tough. But yeah, I mean, like bigger picture, scheme has like a specification. Oh yes, thank you, Chef. Thank you, Chef. Yeah, basically there's a giant PDF that is like, this is how scheme works. This is all the things you need to have in scheme. And so I'm just going through the PDF, implementing things as we go along. But yeah. Yeah, thanks for joining, Chef. I have a feeling this is gonna blow up, but. Oh, of course, Chef. Safe travels. I'm sure I will talk to you sooner rather than later. We're just vibing. I need to register it in the environment first before we use this. But yeah, I guess we just test if this one use case works first, and then we move on to like the end index. Import it, make sure we're all good to go. Say a byte vector of 1, 2, and 3. And then define A as vector copy B. Well, this will work. I'm pretty confident that without any indexes it'll work. Okay, maybe not. Hello? Oh. My goodness. Using byte. Why did they have to name it byte vector? It's too close to vector. And vector's not even the right name for a vector. Like, what are they doing? Yeah, okay, yeah. So what it did, it copied B, and then we saved it into a variable called A. That's expected. What I don't know what will happen if we try that again, but starting from index 1. I'm not sure what A will equal. Okay, yeah, there you go. And same thing if we do it from like 2. It should just be a byte vector of 3. Cool. Maybe check our bounds checking here. So this is out of bounds. So it shouldn't accept this because the index 3 is outside of byte vector B. Not okay. That's not what was supposed to happen. Okay. Why is that happening? Buffer.borrow. Can you just wait a minute? I have the standard library here somewhere. Surely there's like some kind of function in this standard library for a slice that lets you subslice it. Right? Right? Is that a thing? Well, I guess there's just the range indexes, but So length, because ranges in Rust, it's lower bounds inclusive and upper bounds exclusive. So like, let's say the start here was equal to 0, it'll include element 0, and if the end was 3, talking about like our byte vector from here, then it won't get whatever's at index 3, because it won't include the top bounds, which is what we want, right? How does that not throw an error? That should return none, right? Am I crazy? Because we passed in 3 as the starting index. Convert that to a usize. Oh. No, it's just bad error handling. Why do I do the things that I do? Okay, this makes sense. Yeah, so there's no error because this if statement was true. The start number that we got was bigger or equal to the length of the byte vector. So we just returned null. So we didn't get an error message and it didn't do anything. Okay, that's not what we want. I've been using this a ton too. This has been a nice website. Just to kind of do a sanity check when things aren't working out. Let me think. So let's define our random byte vector again. 1, 2, 3. Byte vector copy B. Okay. Why is that intended behavior? Oh, this is hurting my... Why would we want this? Like we have 3 elements here at indexes 0, 1, 2. Will it snap? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so why in the world would I want nothing if I pass in 3? And I guarantee you, I will pay you money, I will bet money, that if we pass in 4 in the online interpreter, that'll be an error. I know it doesn't matter at all, but I kind of want to make this look nice. Okay. After that unnecessary adjustment that nobody needed or wanted. It's fine. But yeah, guaranteed for argument out of range. Why? How's that not out of range? What are we talking about? Okay, length of a bytevector is the number of elements that it contains. This number is non-negative, of course. It's fixed, of course. The valid indexes of a bytevector are the exact non-negative integers less than the length of the bytevector, starting at index 0. Man, that's weird. Yeah. So should that, now here's the even better question. Should that behavior be reflected in this sub-bytevector helper function? Or is that something that should be at the, like, a level higher? The function level. I guess just here. I guess. Else if n equals len, then we just return just an empty bytevector. Yeah, wait, can I, wait, I don't know if my parser can even handle an empty bytevector. Okay, okay, it could. I guess just that? That's so weird. So let's just test it out. Then we want to bytevector copy B from index 3. Oh, we still have this stupid. That's so bad. Why did I do that? Yep, so that gives us. We get the length of this actually. If this returns anything other than 0, I guess we end stream. Okay. There's like a mysterious ghost value or something in the byte vector. That'd be funny. Just out here fighting with my own code. Fighting with myself from the past. Just want to make sure -1 also returns an actual error. It should say like invalid index. Or that. Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? Because this should, sub byte vector, if we pass in -1, should return none. Or not even that. It shouldn't even be able to convert to a U size if it's minus. No? Yeah, that's concerning. Why is that not throwing an error? Because if you're not familiar, a U size in Rust can't be negative. Like it can't. That's the whole point of the type. You can use it for indexing because it can't be negative. So it's always at least a possible value. Curious. This feels like I'm 90% sure that this check won't do anything because start can't be 0 here. But I've been wrong before, so. I'm not going to leave it like this, by the way. I'm just doing this as a sanity check. Okay, so that. Huh? What? like the equivalent of dereferencing your pointers until they work in C. Just trying it out, hoping for the best. This is crazy. My brain is shut off. Oh, wait. Wait, what case was this for again? If we pass in an end index, how should we do this? Kind of stuck. I kind of want to pull what I was trying to do in sub Bytevector out into this function. Like, what are we trying to check here? Let me bring it back. Because we're working on Bytevector copy. And if we pass in an index, a start index I still don't understand how that was matching. That doesn't make sense to me. If start is less than length. You know, that works just fine. Does it work now? Okay. What? I guess we take that. There should be a result, not an option. I think that's the special case that just broke my brain. I think that's what we're going for here. That works. Now let's try -1. That's extraordinarily concerning that that can become the U size. Yeah, the way my number type works, this basically gets boxed into a generic number type, and it's specifically an integer variant, and of the integers, it's specifically a stack allocated I64. Maybe. Wait, let me, maybe this is something I just don't understand about like the two primitive trait. So like let thing equal, this is a U size, don't have to specify it, but doing it anyways. Well, this won't even compile, right? That's what's like throwing me off. Right. But if we did, just call this like the index, number I64. I'm just trying to simulate what happens in the parser. So that's fine. Like number dot to view size. That might, I think that returns an option, but I guess we can find out. Fair enough. I love the error messages in Rust. Holy, like look how helpful that is. It tells you what you need to import. Yeah, okay, it is an option. .unwrap. Okay. This is kind of a waste of time, but it's in the name of learning, so it's okay. Something's happening here, so this is the behavior I expected, but it's not the behavior my number type is doing. That's so weird. Okay. Anyways, just make sure this works. I really need to implement shift and arrow keys to jump whole words in this. So, yep, that makes sense. Yep, that makes sense. Yep, that makes sense. Okay. What the heck? At least it worked, but on the other hand, it worked. I don't know what feels worse. Horrible, horrible if statement. I'm sure there's a way to also clean this up with if-let statements. I'm not a huge fan of them. I don't know why it doesn't come naturally to me to use an if-let for some of this. Like for example here with like the let start, it would be like if let's sum start equals match start.to size. But then I would have to put everything else in a nested block inside. And then if I did the same for like the end statement, it would be like an if let nested in an if-let with the rest of the function down there, with like the subvector match. But at the same time, I don't know, I feel like there's maybe a more concise way to express this error checking. Oh, there absolutely is. Yeah, there's we could do. Oh, I actually don't know why I didn't think of this before. We could do dot OK or else. This still uses the old error messages. What are we doing? Holy garbage. I specifically made a new function because this is so verbose and unnecessary to write. Is it a closure? Yeah, it is a closure. Well, I mean, you be the judge if this is more concise. Oh, what is happening? Do I have caps lock on? Oh, what is... Yeah, okay. So this is... They should fire the guy that wrote this code. It was me. Yeah, that is a lot better. U size, and then OK or else. Okay, we're getting it. Yeah, I apologize for showing this code publicly. This is not my finest work. Oh, hey, Andy, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. I'm sorry, I'm just mauling over myself, really, over the poor decisions I made a week ago. Wait, what? Why is this crying? Oh. Forgot to add the question mark at the end here. Cool. I hope there's not another special case. You missed it, Andy, but there was like, I think you missed it. But it was doing weird things, man. Like I swear there was no way for the if statement to pass with the value I was passing in. And lo and behold, I don't know, things just exploded. So things might go wrong again. Okay, let's test this out. Also this is copper. this is my scheme interpreter, so you can type lines of scheme into here and it will evaluate it. Just working on byte vectors right now, specifically the byte vector copy method. Yeah, things can kind of blow up really quick. It does tend to happen. Yeah, so byte vector copy, I mean, this is just like an array. It looks weird, but that's just an array. Byte vector copy just copies in the byte vector you pass it, but it also accepts indexes. So if we also pass in like index 1, it'll copy things starting at index 1 of the byte vector and on. And what we just did is we implemented the end index 2. So go like 1 to 0 to 1. I think that should just be the first element. Could be wrong. Cool. Or it'll just error out for us because we didn't change this to a byte vector. That would do it. That's what I get for copy pasting code. Let's try this one more time. Okay, that works. With a starting index, let's see if it works. That works. With a start and an end. Do 0 and 1 again. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so the top index is like non-inclusive. That makes sense. Yeah. Cool. It should give us an error. No, wait, that makes, yeah, this makes sense. This is what messed me up last time. Like I did a top bounds. I was passing in an index that was equal to the length of it, and I kept forgetting that like the top one is non-inclusive. It always messes me up. But if we do 4, this should give us an error. Yeah. Same if we do like a negative. Yeah. So if we do like 2 and -1, yeah. Hey, nice. Actually, I don't know, Andy, if you still have this stream pulled up, how's the audio? I have a feeling my mic the gain is too low. And I'm also not sure how the music comes through. If it's too much. Okay, right on. That is good to hear. By default, OBS set my mic volume to like almost nothing. I had to put my gain to like +18. Which is kind of crazy. Yuck. Yeah, look how nasty that old way I used to do it was compared to that. Simply one thing I've learned since learning Rust, I should say. There's so many ways. Like, sure, you could make code work, but making it work, and have it be clean and look like readable and idiomatic, it's hard. Nice. Yeah, so let's move on to vector append, I guess. How do I word this? Oh, yeah. I'll have a copy of the recording after it'll not even like it'll just be on YouTube after this. So I guess we'll find out. I did some recordings, just like little test snippets, but I don't know. After so many tests, it all sounds the same, you know. It's like when you work on one thing for too long. So getting another perspective helps. Yeah. Honestly. This is just like a $60 mic off Amazon. So yeah, definitely room to get something better there. Although that's like the Shure is expensive though, I think, right? That's like a big boy mic. Goodness, we don't have to worry about indexes in this function. Oh yeah, I believe that. I feel like I see it everywhere. Maybe I do like a 2 slice here. reference to self. This is actually so nasty. Yeah. So inside my byte vector, I have to wrap it in a reference counted pointer and a ref cell so I can mutate it, and a box so it's heap allocated. Because I don't know the size of the byte vector at compile time. It's kind of nasty. Dot. So we have to borrow it. What even is this? What type will this give me? Oh, okay. Yes, okay, that makes sense. I was just trying to return something weird there. I don't know if in Rust you can just like add slices. Is that a thing? I can't, okay, I can't add that. there's an answer on the Rust book. Good old Stack Overflow. A slice of slices? Goodness gracious. That's so janky. Okay, wait, let me show what I've just So we can create a slice of both slice A and slice B. And then we can concatenate them. But concatenate turns into a vector. So then we call as slice on it. Nice. Okay. Expected byte vector. That's okay. Yeah, I think that's it. I would just register this in the environment. Make 2 byte vectors here, and we can append them. That new function we just made. Boom! Look at that. And it also preserves A and B. It doesn't change them. Makes a new copy. Right on. Okay. Done. What else is there to do? I'm still scared of this guy. I think I'm not gonna go for it this stream. I might do it off stream. Might take a while. Yeah, I guess just do the conversion functions. Yeah, that's probably the play. Okay. so we need to convert B into a string. A string of That's confusing. So it uses an example here of pound x41 for the value A, because that is like the Unicode, or what is Unicode UTF-8? I always mix up ASCII Unicode. It's the code. Oh, I mean, for whichever one, 41 is the code for A. But in the other examples, it just shows like a raw number. So I'm curious how that works. Like, do we need to denote the bytes with pound x? Is that a thing? In the docs here? I don't know. Yeah, so like what happens if we go UTF-8 string on just like 0? It returned that, okay. Yikes. Can we get a table of UTF characters in here? Yeah, okay, yeah, so 41 is capital A. What happens if we do 41 without that, like, pound X notation? What is the closing parentheses? $29? I see. I see how it works now. So what do we need to get that to work? Is there a, wait a minute, there might be a byte type in Rust already. Surely there's like a function to change a U8 into the hex value. U8 to hex string, that's what we want. Yeah, I guess we just write around. Okay. So we just have a function that'll return not self. We don't want self. We want U8 into the string. Yep. I assume we can just kind of... I'm going to keep it like this for now. But we can kind of spiff up the format so that it'll actually look all fancy like it did in the interpreter here. Okay, cool. Curious. I just kind of want to get E dot that would do it. We forgot the match statement. Nice. Okay. Iter.map. And then we take each byte and we do return void for now. I'm curious what this is going to print out. Oh, what's going on here? Got to dereference the byte. Okay. And then reference this in the environment. Cool. Let's see if this... Huh? Oh, there we go. I guess we can actually just return the string. Yeah, wait, what happens if there's more than one value? Why does it do that? It adds a... Huh, okay. Well, I guess this is just something we can add to the helper function we made earlier. Where's that Stack Overflow thing? Let's just see what that does. Wait, what? Hello, it just gave us one. Huh? Okay. Did I not save or something? It might have been the question mark. Nope. Let's try this out in the Rust playground. 0, 1, huh? 0, 1. That'll cast it to like the hex value. How do I go from the hex value to like the literal? It's probably a char constructor. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's a... How do I make so really I have a U8. How do I make a char from U8? That's really, I guess, what I'm looking for. I knew it. We can do from, I think. This is a dumb. Well, this is a dumb question, but is Unicode UTF-8 or is Unicode extended? Okay. I know ASCII. Okay, well, let's just try this. That's kind of nasty. see if this will run. Gotta love text encoding. Such a pain, I swear. Okay, so we're missing our thing. Hello, I'd like my value, please. Why'd that crap out? That's not what I wanted. Works when we do that, it doesn't work when we do this. Why is that? I mean, this, I assume it's something going on with the from there. I know I don't need to type all these, like, explicitly, but it's fine. Just for sake of explicitness. Yeah, so, yeah, what's going on with the from? Why are we doing this? Oh. Obviously. Oh my goodness, I'm so dumb. I mean, like, one is not a like a printable character. But yeah, that would do it. So it's literally like printing whatever that is. I think it's like null, or like a null terminator. It's printing that into the line here. Because it's not like you can't represent that in text, so that's just nothing. I see. Okay. Does that mean we just, if it's a non-printable character, maybe we just pass in, we just print the U8? We don't have to cast it? That's what comes to mind off the top of my head. Interesting. It's kind of tough though, because there's multiple sequences of non-printable characters we could get. What even is this? I don't know what these are. I'm familiar with the ones at the start of the table. Like this is, I'm pretty sure this is like a null character, a new line. Yeah, so I think if it's above, I mean, this is really, really jank, but I guess if byte is greater than 31, maybe, there's probably a bunch of ways to do it. Probably come back and clean this up later, but just for now. So I'm pretty confident this should just give us like 1 with that extra stuff surrounding it. Yeah. Okay, so we're definitely getting the index wrong to convert from. Yeah. I think 41 was capital A. Nope. What's 41 in hex to decimal? 65. Hey, yeah. Okay, it's Jake, but it works. It works. Yeah, we just need to increase the bounds by 1. Or do we? Maybe it... Let's just check with the real interpreter online. I think it was 32 was a space. Oh, yep. That is just a normal vector. What? Oh, right. Okay, yeah. If it's a non-printable character, it does like the /x and the semicolon. Okay. Now we have to worry about indexes. I think this can accept different indexes of a byte vector. But we've done that before, so that's kind of just boilerplate. $68, that'll give us... It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Okay. Get a number, and that's the start. And then we have a third option where we can also get the end index, which is a number. Let's just copy this from up here. Oh, this is so nasty. This is what we want. Wait, let me check. I'm also not sure what in the world happens if we try and append, or if we convert a byte vector with multiple values. So like 41. I also have this backwards because it should just be the hex value. But the way my parser works, it's using like the decimal. That's fine. Is it 29? Okay. Like 66, 67. It's all just smushed together. Okay. That's fine. We can write. I don't even need to write a helper function, actually. We can just append it in an interchain. Yeah. Okay. So b dot slice dot iter byte and then convert it into whatever the hex string is. Does that make sense? The length minus the start. So if we have a vector of byte vector length 3, we pass in no, that doesn't work. Oh wait. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. just start. So if we have a byte vector of 3, we pass in and like start as 0. We don't skip any. We skip 0. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Gosh, now the real question is, how do we do this with the end as well? Because we have to skip the first bit of the iterator and then also ignore some ones at the end depending on what like the end argument is, right? There is something. Take? Oh, okay, yeah, so we skip, and then after that we take. I see. I see. Yeah, let's bring this home. So I feel like that would have taken me longer to do off stream. I don't know why. I feel like I got that quicker than normal, even though it's not something big, but I don't know, I get tripped up just kind of looking through docs for a long time sometimes. Okay, so end, like we have a byte vector of 3 and end of 2, for example. I think that's how it should go. I love iterators so much, man. Holy crap. Like, that is just so clean. You can chain all that together. Well, let's try it, I guess. Okay. So far, so good. 0 works. Nice. Nice. And I assume the top bounds will... Yeah, we should probably have an error there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's try it. Okay. Again, This is the second time it's happened. I don't understand how passing in the start as the length of the byte vector gives us like an empty thing. But both my interpreter and this one works like that, I guess, so. Yeah, so we do need bounds checking there. I think it's kind of impossible. I think it's impossible. Like, we don't have to check the lower bounds, right? Because it's a U size. As long as we don't exceed the upper bounds, it can't be lower. It can't be negative. Oh no, I just realized I typed in 6-7 like 10 times on stream. Let me go back to the terminal here. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so we got this. We have B like that now. If we convert this to a string, are we joking here? Oh, I'm not doing bounds checking when I'm only accepting the start. That would do it. Cool. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, let's just make sure. I think we're good to commit this, and then that'll probably be the end of stream. But I'm just gonna make sure that using both the start and end will not blow up. Okay, so why wouldn't it be? So, okay, so length. Somehow mess this up. Yeah, why is that happening? So this is taking, so okay, so we passed in index 1. And then that takes the length, which is 3, minus 1, so we get the first 2, which is not what we want. Oh. Brain work. We want to subtract end. We want to subtract the start index from end? Yeah. Still bothers me that it's called like UTF-8. Not even remotely anything to do with byte vector. I mean, I get why, but you know. Hey. I think we have to subtract 1 from end. Nope, I just don't understand indexes again. Kill me. Okay. Nice. Okay, yeah, we got it. Wait, let's try, I want to try it again to make sure that UTF-8, the string conversion, works when we use non-printable characters. Like, this should give us some horrible amalgam goop. Yeah, like what is that? But that's how it is. Cool. Well, yeah, let's get this committed. What do we implement again? Where's the list? Bytevector copy, bytevector append, UTF-8 to string. Cool. Beautiful. Right on. Well, thank you so much for joining me, everyone. And we'll stream again for the next part of writing the scheme interpreter. I'm not exactly sure what the next thing we're going to be doing is, but I guess we'll find out. Take care, everyone.